this, man. Stupid FedEx. Hate them.
Stupid co-host.
Stupid Robin. What is going on, Crypto fam? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. We are coming at you live from our studios here in Sin City, Nevada with another one of our live shows. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer. We ain't financial advisors. Please do your own research. With that being said, let me introduce you to the man who is already bouncing off the walls. He's too hyped up, too much caffeine. Big Rob, what's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take the old, the boring, the stale information and package it up in a fun and sexy way. Quick shout-out to, who's the first person in the chat? Chef Murder. Congratulations for being the first person here. You earn a new prize. Nothing. But you do get our appreciation.
Let's send him 20 grand in Bitcoin.
20 grand. Chef, we're going to send you 20 grand in Bitcoin as long as you're first in the chat every day for the next
7 years.
7 years, yeah. And I'm hyped up on coffee, and I just poured a brand new cup, baby. Let's go. You know what? I had time to make coffee today. You know, I got a lot of stuff done today.
Yeah.
You want to know what else I did? You didn't even realize what I did.
What?
You want to know what I did, David?
What?
Hit the laptop Robin button. The new button. Hit the new button. No, that's laptop David.
No, it's not.
No, that's the hit my new button. The purple button. Robin's laptop.
Yeah, that's your laptop, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yeah, mine isn't on there. Mine is on the show.
Oh. Okay. Never mind.
See what else I did? I didn't.
Okay, I thought I added my laptop. I thought I added my laptop, and I did it last minute, so obviously not working.
Obviously, you messed up.
But anyways, we're working on technology here that's going to provide me screen sharing from my laptop.
Wow.
So I can fact check you mid-damn show. Technology is coming, everybody.
You spend an hour in the morning.
It's like ETH 2.0, okay?
Oh, don't worry. An hour in the morning doing that.
It's like ETH 2.0. We know it's coming. And when it gets here.
Speaking of ETH 2.0, we have an article about that. Exciting things happen for ETH.
Also, I forgot to say, we don't just do live streams here. We also do deep dives. Check out the lives. Check out the deep dives. Something. Anyways, shout out to the chat. So, Chef Murder. No, honestly, thank you for being the first in the chat. We appreciate you. First place for you. Nick, welcome. Russell, Mayad, and Garrett. And Malik. What up? Where DFib at? That's what I want to know. DFib, where you at, bro?
DFib found a new bromance.
Yeah?
He was actually DMing me today about, I forget what it was. I briefly glanced at it, but I couldn't really look at it. But let's talk about what's going on.
What's going on?
CPI reports out. And we're fucked. So, pull up my laptop, Eddie. So, inflation rose 7.9% in February as food and energy costs pushed prices to the highest in more than 40 years. 40 years. There looks like there's no end in sight.
We were at 7.8 or 7.6. What was it last year?
I think we're at 6.8. I actually have the table pulled up here.
Last month we were at 7 point something. I think it was 7.8. So just a small bump up from the month before.
So I have this is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it shows you unadjusted indexes. You have February 2021, January 2022, and you can see month over month, we're up 2 points. Year over year, we're up 20 points. So, and you can see it breaks it down. You have food, energy, and then all items, not including food and energy. And you can see food went from 271 to 292 year over year. Energy went from 213 to 267. And if you just look at the fuel, 267 to 384.
Did you know you could power a car off a potato? What up, sweet potato? How you doing, bro?
If you look at the unadjusted percentage change for fuel, 38% from February of 2021 to February of 2022. 30 wait, sorry, 43%. 43% for fuel. And then gasoline's at 38%. If you look at food, 8% increase year over year.
Here's the thing, that this is gonna get worse. Why do I say it's gonna get worse? Because all of the factors that you mentioned above, so food, retail items,
Yeah.
all of that gets delivered, right?
Right.
You got to get the wheat from the farmers over to the plant that makes bread, and then from there it goes to a warehouse, and then from there it goes to a restaurant or to your grocery store. All of that now costs 40% more to transport?
The gas, yeah.
Yeah. So because the fuel is up, this is what they call a lagging indicator.
So real quick, Robin, month over month, okay? And just from January to February of this year, fuel is up 7.7%. In 1 month.
In 1 month.
In 1 month.
But in 1 year, it's up 40%.
43%.
So this is a lagging indicator. So you got to think, people, they're not raising prices they're not raising prices the day that
March
the
numbers
gas
are going to be
prices
stupid.
go up. So it's not like the distributing company and the restaurant are like they see the gas price go up. Oh, hey, you know what? Gas price went up 7% this month. Let's raise prices 7% across the board. It's a lagging indicator. So it's only going to get worse. So even if the gas prices do fall back down, let's say we go back down to, here in Vegas, we're at $5 a gallon.
Have you ever seen $5 a gallon in Vegas? I've been in Vegas since 2004.
You remember when they were giving away gas when COVID happened and nobody was driving their cars? They were like, I think I saw gas as low as like $1.20, and they basically had they couldn't even give away the barrels.
Yeah.
So the U.S. government like scooped up a bunch and like put it in storage, but yeah, it was like $25 a barrel or something crazy like that.
Do you think, what do you think about them issuing more here in the U.S., them issuing more stimulus checks, printing more money?
Hell no.
No, I'm not saying I'm not asking if that's a good thing. I'm saying, do you think that'll happen?
If our discussion at this exact moment is about inflation, literally the very last thing you want to do to make this any worse,
print more money. I get it, but it's a short-term fix, right?
No, it's not a short-term. It's an immediate cause. Like, we printed money in 2021 and literally within 6 months had exponential inflation. We had been sitting at CPI between 1 and 2.5% for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And so we started printing money instantly, 5%. Instantly. And then now it's just snowballing, getting worse. So the idea of printing money that literally is the fuel. It's, if you have a fire, that's putting coal on there. And we just sent another $12 billion to Ukraine. Earlier this month, or last month, we sent $6 billion to Ukraine. Not saying that they don't need it. I'm just saying that there's no stop to the printing of money, issuing of debt. All of this is just on top of each other, and we're still at 0% interest rate. So the U.S. government is lending out money to the banks, and then they're charging you interest. So just think of your mortgage, whatever the hell you pay in interest in your mortgage. All of that is interest free to the bank. So they got that money for free, and then they're charging you interest. So kind of stupid. And you know what? I get it. It's going to hurt the markets if we if we increase the federal interest rate. But I mean, you know what, bro? We got to pay our bills, or we got to at least account for some of the money that we're spending. And I know you always go back to the. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're not making sense. I'm just saying, but you always go back to the same. Well, print money. That's why we're here. And the fact is if you have a business and you're making zero profit, but you're spending more money, what happens? Obviously, you're taking on more debt and you can't pay it. The U.S. economy is like a business. One of your biggest revenue streams for your business is collecting interest off of money that you lend out. and we're not collecting any interest. We're not getting any income from the money that we lend out. So we give money to the banks. They make money. Bank of America is doing good. You see, pull up the price of Bank of America stock. Look. They ain't struggling.
There's a reckoning.
Why the hell are we giving them? Why the hell are we giving them Bank of America fucking money, interest free, and they're taxing everybody on and feeing the shit out of everybody, and their stocks are doing fine. They're doing great, and lo and behold, we're just. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of having this 0% interest rate? Just so that way everybody can borrow money at a slightly lower interest rate and buy shit we can't afford?
Yeah, and then what's going to happen is people are going to be able to repay back their debt. And then what's going to happen? If enough people default on their debt, on their credit card debt, on their home loans, on their personal loans, their car loans, what will that do to the market?
It's about getting money you can't typically get with a higher interest rate. So if you're trying to get a small business loan, if you're refinancing and trying to get a lower payment, whatever it is
this kind of reminds me of right before 2008, right? When they were issuing all these mortgages, these reverse mortgages, and people were getting overextended, and these banks were giving out mortgages to people who had no business having a mortgage.
The funny thing is inflated.
And look what happened.
As inflated as the housing market is right now. I mean, we saw a double on the price of housing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite there on a national average, but at least has to be a minimum of 35%, right?
In Vegas, I bought my house in July of 2020. 1 year later, I already had $100,000 in equity in my house. In a year. And now it's like at like 140, and we're at almost 2 years. So
yeah, exact. So here's the thing. But if you talk to anybody in the real estate, talk to a real estate agent, you talk to anybody or you listen to anybody that's discussing the housing sector, they'll all say the same thing. Oh, we ain't in no bubble. Like, what do you mean? Like, literally the definition of a blow off top. You have, if you look at the prices of houses in a chart format, and you remove the mentality that you're looking at prices of houses, and you just give it to an analyst, you give it to a TA expert. You say, hey, look at this chart. What is it going to do? And at the bottom of the chart, you have, straight line, exponential growth, blow off top. What is going to happen? But yet, all the experts say the same crap. No, we ain't in no bubble. Nothing's going to happen. Prices are going to stay the same. Keep buying houses. Buy a house is best investment. It is a great investment. The thing is, I look at a house like Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Or where you can buy now, and as long as you plan on holding it for a while, you'll be fine. Even if the price tanks on houses for a little bit, the market.
Pull up my laptop, Eddie. There you go. Just for Vegas.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so look what happened in 2008. You had the big run up, and then what happened after the big run up? Look at that.
Yeah.
Now look at the chart again. Look at this big ass run up. What do you think is going to happen up here?
You know what? When people like to use the word bubble, I think literally everything. You could say everything's in a bubble, right? And if it's not growing, if it's not growing organically or at a good pace, it will pop. The NFT bubble's starting to pop. The housing bubble's going to pop. The stock market bubble's definitely going to. I think and I don't mean to be a downer, but I think this year is going to be a terrible year, fiscally, financially, monetarily. From the stock market to obviously with oil prices, inflation, mortgages.
We're due for a recession. Like when is it coming? I think with the policies that we've been having with the interest rates, with the government pumping money into businesses through quantitative easing, we're just delaying the inevitable. We're printing a ton of money, and So, who are you waving at?
No, I was saying it looks like your video is buffering a little bit.
Is it a little choppy?
We'll see how it shows up on the stream here in 20 seconds. But Robin, do you think cryptocurrency, and not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency could kind of, if you have your money in crypto, you'll be a little more sheltered against a big bubble burst or a big recession that's gonna
No.
No?
Because it doesn't matter. Everybody that's invested in crypto is plugged into the financial global network. So a lot of you have three sectors. You have retail, you have the investor, and then you have institution. Institution, obviously, if we go into a recession, they're gonna be hit the hardest, right?
Right.
Maybe the investor will be hit the hardest. But either way, if you own a company, all of a sudden your stock drops by 30, 80%, 60%, whatever it is, you're not going to be investing in crypto. Or if you have crypto, you're not going to be buying a ton more crypto. It is essentially, it is a risk on asset. So you're only going to take on as much of it as you can afford to kind of lose in the short term. Just like we say, oh, don't invest in any, don't invest money you're not prepared to lose. Institutions are kind of looking at it the same way. It's the same idea. Don't go in putting in a ton of money that you expect to be pulling out in the next year. So you're not going to have dispensable income to put into crypto as an institution. Same can be said for investors. So if your portfolio is down 80%, you're probably not going to be, and you're a traditional Wall Street guy, you're probably not going to be investing in Bitcoin. So,
and I feel like, crypto is the first place people are going to start liquidating their money because they don't deem it as safe as the stock market, which is BS.
And not even has to be liquidated. It's just about like buying more, putting more liquidity into the market. I just don't see it. So.
No bueno. But this too shall pass, but we don't know when.
But here's the thing, man. A lot of doom and gloom here. Let me tell you
You're
something.
both looking sweet.
Let me tell you something here, okay? We in the right spot. Now, here's what crypto does.
What is it?
Crypto's a better investment than traditional finance.
Why?
Because it can't be over. So all the problems that we spoke of are due to centralized figures, whether it be a government or private enterprise, controlling and manipulating the supply and the goods to a way that benefits the rich people, right? So, or the people in power. So the Congress guy he wants to get reelected. So President Biden wants to get reelected. Everybody in office wants to get reelected. And you're like, hey, economic problems coming down the way. What should we do? We could print a bunch of money. It's going to screw over the future, but it'll make us look good, and we'll probably get reelected. They don't look at
that's what I was saying earlier. When I mentioned printing money, I wasn't saying we should print money. I was saying, do you think they will, like as a stopgap to higher inflation, higher grocery bill?
In the history of our government, we've only printed money when either you had a gigantic drop in the market, whether it be like a full-blown recession or an economic collapse of some sort. So we printed money for the housing market crash in 2008, but the money didn't go to the people. They went to institutions.
Yeah.
So they went to the banks. So they tried to bail out the banks, and then they ended up learning that the banks ended up squandering the money, not using it for anything productive. And basically, they gave out a lot of bonuses. People bought like new boats. And anyway.
So ass backwards, man.
And so there was this big like realization afterwards, like, hey, if we ever have this happen again, we should
print money.
Yeah, we shouldn't just give all the money to the banks. We should inject it into the economy from the bottom up to the people. Kind of makes sense, right?
Right.
But then a lot of it, there was no structure.
People went ham sandwich on crypto. They took all their checks they got from the government.
All of those businesses, like all you had to do was be a small business. Didn't matter how many employees you really had. Essentially, be a small business, open up your establishment and provide a service. Doesn't matter if the
doors. You could have done that on the fly.
Yeah, all you had to do was just say, "Hey, we're open. Can I get a check I don't need to can I get a business loan I don't need to pay back?" And all I got to do is hire back a certain amount of my employees. Most of them didn't even want to come back.
Right.
Because they were getting unemployment. Anyways.
It's a bad financial climate.
Where I was getting at is that with crypto, none of this is possible. There's no Satoshi ain't gonna come back from the grave and be like, hey, we're gonna print more Bitcoin. Like, it is what it is. 21 million Bitcoin. That's all that's ever gonna exist, no matter what. And so it doesn't matter what the economy does, Bitcoin's gonna do what it does. And so for that reason alone, compared to the powers that be that can manipulate crap and just destroy your own currency, you can always believe in the power of Bitcoin. And all the other ones as well. Hola!
R. Gilbert.
R. Gilbert, welcome to Sin City Crypto. Is this your first time watching? This is first time.
I haven't seen Gilbert in here.
Gilbert, man, welcome to the most entertaining. Today we're actually not very entertaining. We're over here in doom and gloom.
I'm going to call him Gilberto.
Gilberto.
We have our Eddie, our Hispanic gentleman in here, our in-house Hispanic man.
Yes.
Gilberto or Gilberto?
Yeah.
What do you think, Eddie?
Would you ever bring
soft G or hard G?
Eddie, would you ever bring flour tortillas to a family gathering cookout?
Now, is that a no-no?
No, definitely not.
Wow.
Yeah. You look like a flour tortilla.
You look like, I was just gonna say this. Okay, honestly, I don't like corn tortillas, bro. They fall apart. Man. They fall apart. They fall apart.
You might as well take okay, this is what a flour tortilla is. You take a loaf of bread and you take a rolling pin and you just keep rolling it up. That's your tortilla, bro. Nasty ass crap.
Oh man. All right. Let's move on. Let's take a peek. Let's take a gander. Allow me to walk you down the path of CoinMarketCap.
Oh,
Eddie,
hey, real quick. Once we get to 21 viewers today, we're giving out $50.
We finna fit out. Wait, what?
$50, man. When we get to 21 viewers in the chat, we're gonna open up the club.
Hey, you know what? Gilberto, he said, Sin City Crypto, and you have 666 subscribers. I was telling my wife today, I was like, find someone to subscribe to our channel right now. I don't like this number. She goes, well, actually, babe, when I put 666 into this number thing, it says that today is gonna be a day where you're gonna find out what you really love to do, and this is like a zodiac reading. I was like, what? Like 666 is the devil.
Look, man, let me tell you about zodiac.
The only devil in here is Robin. So, Gilberto, if you're not subscribed, get us out of this 666, bro. We need you. The people need you, and I feel like you're a man of the people. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 667. We don't like 666. We don't like the devil. He's a bad man.
El Diablo.
El Diablo. All right.
Tanico.
What? You are, dude, you're like extra today, bro.
Bro, this coffee.
So, Robin, here's what Robin does.
Bro.
Here's what Robin does. I'm walking from the back, right, from our little garage area, and this dude just turns the corner. I'm like, Jesus, bro. He goes, man, I have this coffee. I'm like, all right, bro, calm down. I come inside. He leaves, comes back in the studio with another cup of coffee. What are you doing, bro?
No.
Okay, that was a great conversation.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie, pull up my laptop. Let's see what CoinMarketCap has to say. We are down 4.79%. Bitcoin dominance has slipped to 42.6, and our volume traded is 91 billion. So, not high, not low, kind of right in the middle. I got thrown off here. Sorry. And then ETH dominance is actually went up 0.2%. It was at 17.6 yesterday. We are at 17.8. Bitcoin holding strong over 39,000. I thought it would definitely get to that 37.38 again, but
what happened yesterday? We
a lot
were
of
sitting
support
at
at
42,000, and
well, it's because it saw that FOMO pump.
You think
right?
You think it was the inflation? News?
No, it was the executive order news.
Well, that's what pumped it up to 42,000. I'm saying, what do you think of the
it
pullback?
just we're no. I mean, we talked about this. We are in a bear market.
You think it was manipulation from whales?
No.
People trying to make money?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think I thought we were going to see a little bit of a pump because of what's going on in South Korea, which we'll cover in our talking point
Stereo
section.
2's here.
What's up, Stereo 2?
Is he on the ones and two tomorrow?
No. Well, yeah, him and Eddie.
Oh.
Got two producers in here tomorrow.
Eddie, you coming in tomorrow?
You better come in tomorrow.
Cool.
Shit.
See, that's good.
Don't be late. You're late today. Unacceptable. You're
Hey,
fired.
now we got two producers, man. We're gonna give y'all some more responsibilities.
Gilberto hooked us up. He got us to 667. You're a good man, Gilberto. Just for that, we're going to send you a virtual hug.
It's on the blockchain. You can keep it forever.
Public ledger. All right, you have ETH right under 2,600. Literally everything is down. Binance Coin is at 368. Terra Luna, damn, Terra Luna is not moving. I mean, in a good way. It's only down 1%, still at almost $100. Terra Luna might be the next Solana, but the difference will be they'll actually be able to stay there, in my opinion. So a lot of things happening on Terra Luna. Maybe we'll pull up the total value lock, see if that's gained any since the last time we checked it on Monday. And then you have XRP 73 cents. Cardano back up to number 8, 80 cents. Solana keeps slipping, 5.5% down on the day. And then Avalanche rounding out the top 10 at $72. Polkadot. So I'm a big Polkadot guy. A lot of things are happening behind the scenes, but like Cardano, it takes time. They're doing it the right way. You got Gavin Wood heading up the project. So I'm a huge Polkadot fan. I know Robin is. Not sure about Eddie. Doesn't really matter, though. So, Robin, when do you think we'll see a big run-up in the price of Polkadot? Like, I'm not saying give a specific day. I'm not like, is there something that needs to happen? Is like, what's your take on Polkadot?
It's not going to be this year.
You don't think it's going to be this year?
I think they'll have big partnerships, things that happen, and in turn, you're going to get pumps, and then you're going to get consolidation, pump, consolidation. I'm not forecasting any big price movement. Let me see where the price is. So Polkadot, $17. Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's good this year. I think it's gonna be between $17 and $28. Not to say that $28 is bad. I'm just saying I don't see any I don't see it 2, 3, 4, 5xing or anything like that
this year.
No, I just
you think anything's gonna 2, 3x this year besides Terra Luna? It's already 2, 3x.
Yeah, I mean, Terra Luna 2x just in the last 3 weeks.
Week and a half.
So, there's going to be other projects that do the same, especially in the top 20 or 30. So, I don't know.
Robin, if you had to hold ADA or Polkadot for 2 years, what are you holding?
They're in the same camp. I just think that there's more partnerships and more dApps being built out on Cardano.
I agree.
Also, Cardano seems to have more of a larger community. They have more of their tokens staked than Polkadot. So pretty comparable. I mean, they're both founders of these projects were original founding team members of Ethereum. So, in that sense, they're pretty well respected as far as the teams.
Definitely.
But I don't know. I just feel like there's more backing at Cardano. And you know what? Cardano is more backed by the retail investor, and I feel like there's more institutional money behind Polkadot.
Yeah.
But
so what do you think will catapult it faster, retail money or institutional money?
Institutional money tends to be more long term. Institutions aren't swing trading. They're not freaking selling when something like starts to blow off top. Or institutions don't care. They're there to beef up their portfolio in the long term, and they're more for the future. Retail investor, that's a whole different game. We know how retail investors are. What do they come up to you, be like, "Hey man, I bought Cardano at $1.50. It's at $1.20. It's been 5 weeks." I'm like, what's the problem here?
Yeah,
what is the problem?
And that's why you see more price swings and volatility in ADA than you do in Polkadot. Polkadot's been in this $14 to $20 range for a while. Cardano has been in the $2.20, $2.50, all the way down to 70 cents, and now it's at 80 cents. So we definitely believe in both, but I was just curious what your take
Russell
on was.
believes in both as well.
That's right. All right, let's get into our very first segmento, El Caliente, El Fuego Hot Take.
It's hot.
It's caliente.
So for the hot take, I'm going to pull up a tweet. Eduardo, mucho por favor, pull up my laptop. This is from The Godfather, Mikhail Sailor. Today's a little flat. We got 6 people in the chat. It was a little doom and gloom earlier, but I've got to state the facts. No one's watching, so you know what? We're gonna have some fun today. I'm gonna throw in some Spanish, throwing some British. I'm going to throw something out, Robin. Just stay tuned. War will accelerate the adoption of Bitcoin. And there was an article from the Wall Street Journal. You guys should go check that out. If you're not following Michael Saylor on Twitter, you need to. What's up, Olga? So that leads to our hot take. The hot take question is, will war accelerate the adoption of Bitcoin? Robinsky, please take the lead on this one, sir.
I mean, absolutely. So when you have fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it comes to
Is there an acronym for that?
I think it's fudge.
I like fudge.
You like fudge? That ain't chocolate. That's doo-doo, baby.
That's Dave Chappelle, right?
Yeah.
I love Dave Chappelle. Hey, if you're a Dave Chappelle fan, his old school stuff, you know, the Dave Chappelle show, his stand-ups he did back in the 2000s, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Dave Chappelle fan. I love Dave Chappelle. Right, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he wouldn't have given up his series. It was good.
Chappelle show, yeah.
Yeah. So when you have fear, uncertainty, and doubt in your own government system, because you're at war, then where do you turn? You turn to precious metals, commodities, safe assets.
Well, good thing crypto's not commodity, right?
And this guy.
We ain't going down that road today, fellas.
Yeah. Been in crypto for 4 years. And
Deja vu.
Forgot the biggest news from 2 years ago. He's like, hold on, what? El Salvador accepts Bitcoin? No. Like, where have you been?
Oh man.
Biggest news
what I was telling?
biggest news of 2017.
You know, I was telling HP.
Way over your head.
I was talking to HP. I was like, I feel like a lot of mine and Robin's arguments are I'm trying to relay a message, and he's not perceiving the message like I'm trying to convey it, and so then we go back and forth.
Because communication skills are dog crap.
Makes for good TV. We like TV. Anyway, so I agree.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So as I mentioned, you're starting to, okay, what happened when we had war? Everybody hit the banks. Even though Russia was the aggressor, even though Russia is not getting invaded, you had a big run on the banks. You know, reason being with sanctions and other things, and you're seeing the rapid hyperinflation of the currency and devaluation of the ruble as an example. So in turn, people hit the banks. What happens when you hit the banks? You pull out liquidity. What happens? So just like when you hit the banks and you empty out your bank account, it's the same as selling your crypto. Just instead of having all the citizens, instead of having all the retail investors going into Coinbase and hitting sell button on all of their crypto, it's the same when you go to the bank as an entire nation. And when the entire nation all hits the ATM machine, basically it's the same mentality. They're all, instead of them going to Coinbase and selling their crypto, they're going to the banks and selling their investment into the financial infrastructure. So in turn, you start dropping the value. And anyways, that's what happened. That's what happened in Ukraine. Now, interesting.
Not to mention the fear of cyber warfare, right? When you're in war with another country, them draining your accounts, them freezing your accounts. And so if you have another asset class, another form of, monetary spending, which we're not there yet, but eventually we will be. Now you have two avenues, right? If one gets shut off, you can't shut the blockchain off. You literally cannot shut off the blockchain. It is impossible. So if the banking system gets compromised, you can fall back on the cryptocurrency markets.
Well, it's also portable. So in the past, if your country's under attack and you have economic uncertainty when it comes to what's going to happen after the war, so you're getting invaded. Okay, what's going to happen after? Say it's successful, and your country gets taken over. Then what ends up happening is that old monetary system is gone. So let's pretend Russia takes over Ukraine. They put in their own government. Do you think any of the Ukrainian money will still be there?
Hell no.
Exactly. So that fear alone,
which I hope doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, it's a possibility. You got to take into account that it's something that can happen. I mean, you have one of the largest militaries in the world attacking a smaller country. So, I mean, mathematically speaking, it has some realistic likelihood. Now, So, anyways,
You know what
you got to move your money. But here's the beautiful part about Bitcoin. So traditionally, you would invest in gold. So if it was 1940 and you're getting invaded, you want to take your money with you. How do you do that? You go to the pawn shop. And you're like, yeah, how much gold can I get for this right here?
Yeah.
And anyways, and then you take the gold and put it in your backpack, and you go. Anyways, it could get confiscated. You could lose it. And then anyways, Bitcoin's the same thing. But however, you don't need to put it in a backpack, and it travels, and you can't lose it. So there's a lot of examples. There are people that are fleeing Ukraine where they take their money, they buy Bitcoin, or they already had Bitcoin, and then they cross the border, and good luck exchanging your Ukrainian currency when it's over the border. So
You know what? Hilberto brought up an excellent point. What happens when the country loses power, loses cell phone communication, loses internet?
then you know
That's
what
a
happens? Elon Musk steps in, and he unleashes his Starlink robots. And here's the thing.
If that happens, like spending money is the least of your worries. If our power goes out and something happens to the power, like that's
Here's the thing. You're gonna always be able. You're always gonna have some way of reconnecting to the internet, right? You might be down for a while. And here's the thing. Like, if you're in a country, you have Bitcoin, power goes out. Okay, cool. It's not like you lose your bank account. It's not like you lose your Bitcoin account. So when you get to an area where you can plug back into the internet, at that point, you can reacquire your funds, move it around, do whatever you want.
what's up, HP? He said, "I feel like a digital asset is what you don't want during war."
Well, the digital asset, if it lives on a blockchain, it's there forever. So if you're in war, and you know what, like, you could say, like, yeah, you know what,
I guess you can take cash, right, and walk in and pay for some. But if the
but
internet,
if you go into a different country, like, what I'm saying is, like, if you go to Germany with the Ukrainian currency, how many places are going to take it? And not to mention, in the time that you traveled from your country to Germany, you've probably already lost 50% of
that's
your power.
if you can travel during war, right?
Well, I'm saying the refugees. We're taking refugees as an example. So, from the time you left your house, you hit that ATM machine, to the time you're trying to spend it in Germany, you've probably already lost 50% of the value, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least in this example. And so what preserves its value and is transparent, is transportable, and you can't lose it unless you lose your seed phrase.
And on top of that, you guys got to remember too. Look what happened to the country's currency, the one that's invading, the one that's is expected to win the war. That shit crashed 70%. Did that happen to Bitcoin? Did Bitcoin crash 70%? No. Did Ethereum crash 70%? No. So you got to take that into account too. And with crypto and digital assets, it is borderless. It is worldwide.
So Nick says, is Ukraine on the euros?
No.
I don't believe so. No. They were trying right now. They're trying to get into. They're trying to get into the European Union. The whole reason this whole thing started is they're trying to get into NATO.
Yeah.
But it's.
So the Ukraine national currency is the U.S. or the hell?
You trying to start a fight, bro?
Trying to start a fight? Let's start a riot. So it is the Hervinian. Eddie, pull up my laptop. I don't know how to pronounce this. Right here. Hervinian. One Ukrainian Hervinian. So if you can pronounce that shit, let me know, because I have no idea. Over here sound like an idiot. All right, you can take it off my laptop. So I think for crypto, it's been the perfect storm over the last 2 years. You've had the COVID shutdown. You've had people having time off. You've had inflation. You've had the war. It's forcing people to look outside of their box that they've been living in for the last 50, 60, 70 years when it comes to money and investment. And they're saying, you know what? Maybe I'll look into crypto. Maybe I'll look into Bitcoin. And then you start looking into it and start researching it. And you're like, oh, shit, this is pretty cool. So that's where we saw that big FOMO back in May of 2020. So I think it's been a perfect storm, and obviously war is not good, but I think I agree with Michael Saylor. War will push and accelerate the adoption of not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency. So that'll do it for a hot take. We are moving on to our next segment, the talking points. U.S. laptop.
US of A.
US and A, inflation is at the record high, but crypto doesn't care. US inflation at record high, crypto does not care. The crypto market has remained unfazed following the release of the latest CPI data that put the US annual inflation rate at a 40% high of 7.9%. The consumer price index increased by 0.8 on the month in February, which is the highest since January of 1982. That's 10 years after Robin was born.
Hola! Just
You just want to say that?
yeah.
Increases in the indexes for gasoline, food, and shelter were the largest contributors to the increase. Energy alone has surged 25.6% over the last year, with gasoline and natural gas rising 38% and 23.8% respectively. The ECB, which is the European Central Bank, now sees annual inflation in the EU at 5.1%, opposed from the 3.2% from 3 months ago. So it's not just in the US, but it's in Europe as well. It's bad. Robin, what do you
What happened? So, yeah, man. You know,
put the camera back on me, bro.
how you doing?
Yeah, I see you're typing in the chat here. Okay. So I was just saying, the article, just kind of expands on the inflation, the CPI numbers we talked about. It kind of breaks everything down. But in Europe, it's the same thing. It went from, what were the numbers in Europe? 3.8. Where are the European numbers?
So the European
3.2 to 5.1 in 3 months.
The European Union said they're ending their stimulus plan where they were printing money
They're
and
not stimulating people anymore?
no more.
Bullshit.
So we unplugged our stimulus program maybe like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago,
Yeah.
something like that. Anyways, lagging behind is Europe, but they finally done cut off the free money. Good job.
It's not as bad as in the US though. Only 5.1%. So US 7.9%. 8%. That's insane. All right, let's move on. SEC's Gary Gensler, pull up my laptop, please, expects a regulated U.S. crypto market after Biden's executive order. I gave Gary Gensler a new nickname, and you'll see it when the topic banner comes up. Gary Gensler said that the agency will collaborate with government organizations to achieve, quote, important public policy goals in the cryptocurrency sector. It is worth noting that the main focus of the executive order was the investors' protection while dealing with cryptocurrencies, as well as mitigating usage of the asset class in illicit transactions. Earlier this year, Gensler opined that American financial regulators should directly supervise digital asset trading venues. In his view, such additional monitoring should be imposed by the end of 2022, as it will grant investors more protection when dealing with Bitcoin and altcoins. And he's went on to say, quote, I am not neutral about investor protection. If somebody wants to speculate, that's their choice. Except you refuse to pass a spot ETF. You fuck. But we have a role as a nation to protect those investors against fraud. That's what I don't get, man. It's like, it's so ass backwards. And I'm sorry for cursing. Not really, but I'm sorry if you're sensitive to curse words. But it just pisses me off. If they want to speculate, that's their choice. But you literally won't pass a spot Bitcoin ETF because, quote, it's too volatile. That's literally the definition of speculation. That's all I got.
You know, I think we're gonna get the grayscale one passed. I think it's up for review by September, something like that.
Okay, so
Well, we had
Grace-
Biden. Biden was basically saying that we don't want to fall behind in innovation when it comes to cryptocurrency. That we need to be progressive, and he called on all of the financial sectors, all the different branches of government that have their hands in crypto or in other financial sectors, and say, hey, here is crypto. It's growing. We wanna be behind it. So I think with that narrative and that message that we had with the executive order, I could see the SEC finally putting down their guns and yeah. He's so proud of this banner. Like he's like Gary the Gun Gensler.
Gary the Gun.
Look at his face.
Gary the Gun.
Look how smiling he is.
He's always fucking shit up.
he thinks he's like so witty. He's just like, this is the best title ever.
Yeah, HP had a good idea. He said, you know what really grinds my gears? Should be a segment. Should be my
That's the
segment.
Peter Griffin Family Guy thing.
I know, but it should be a segment. What grinds my gears? And it'll all just
literally
be the SEC and Gary
word
Gun.
for word from Family Guy.
That's fine. What's wrong with that?
He's like, we got a great idea.
It's okay to copycat as long as you copy the right cat. That's all I'm going to say. So
He's like, I got a great idea. We're going to do a segment. It's going to be called Dateline NBC. We're going to do documentaries on killers of Bitcoin. He's like, it's genius.
no, Eddie, I don't like you having it in here, Eddie. Just kidding. I love you, Eddie. So here was my question I was going to ask. So GBTC, right? Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. They're already holding Bitcoin, right? So if they just convert that into the spot ETF, then you're not going to see that supply shock because they already own a certain amount of Bitcoin. So could that be a negative to the price of Bitcoin? What do you think, Robin?
What was the question?
Jesus Christ. So Grayscale already owns a certain amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And if their fund gets converted to a spot ETF,
Yeah.
you're not going to see that supply shock that we've been talking about when these spot ETFs get approved and these companies are going to have to go out and buy Bitcoin.
It's more of a FOMO. I mean, they have Bitcoin on hand. So, yeah, you're just converting the asset into a security, basically, or to almost like a representation of the commodity or stock. So yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be from their perspective, it's not gonna be an increase of liquidity. However, because you have all these different players on Wall Street that are gonna start purchasing Bitcoin, immediately Grayscale would have to add Bitcoin as it got purchased. So easily billions of dollars. And when we saw like $4 billion in 48 hours when we had the futures ETF for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I would say at least $10 billion. So if you're adding $10 billion to Bitcoin instantaneously just on the trading of the ETF on Wall Street, then that's not to even mention people FOMOing in at the exchange level. So, I mean, you told me yesterday or the day before, you're like, hey, this executive order is pumping crypto. Should I get in? I'm like, it's a big pump. Everyone's getting in. It's the same idea. All of a sudden, this ETF thing comes in. You have thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are like, Bitcoin spot ETF? Maybe I should buy some now. And everybody's going to be FOMOing in. So not only are you increasing, not only are you pulling the supply off the market simply to fulfill orders on Wall Street, but then you got all the retail investors just like, yo, this shit's going crazy.
I think
Bitcoin to the moon.
I think that's when we're going to see $100,000 Bitcoin.
I think so. Well, it depends on where we're at when we go into it.
That's true.
So I mean, if we're sitting
if
we're sitting at 38,000 and they pass the spot, if they pass it today, I mean, we're probably going to shoot up to like 70, 80,000, but then you're going to have a big ass correction. You got to think if you
Let's just say it'll double.
If you go from 35,000 to 70,000, let's just say that
2x
in the span of 2 weeks, there's going to be so many people that bought at any point in time that are just going to cash out double.
Yeah.
You know, say you put in
except Michael Saylor.
Say you put in 100,000. I'm saying there's going to be so many people. You know, you have your hodlers, but you know, if you have, you know, millions of people that just literally double their money, what do you think they're going to do?
They're going to triple them.
Yeah, you put in 100 grand, all of a sudden you got 200 grand. You're like, okay, go buy a new car, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens. The gun has spoken. All right, let's move on. Treasury to launch financial education initiative around crypto investments. I still haven't learned about how to figure out my credit, but hey. The United States Treasury Department is launching a new initiative to raise awareness of the risks involved in investing in digital assets. The department's Financial Literacy Education Commission, also known as FLEC. I just made that up. FLEC. You like that? FLEC, Financial Literacy Education Commission.
You are so witty, bro.
Thanks, man.
You're like
FLEC is developing educational materials designed to inform the public how crypto assets operate and differ from traditional assets. Nellie Liang, which is the Treasury Undersecretary for Domestic Finance.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa puff, pass it to me now. Light it up and take a puff.
Nellie Liang said, "We're hearing more and more about investors and households who are purchasing crypto assets, and we recognize the complexity of how some of those assets operate." Are you sure? You sure you recognize the complexity? I doubt it. There has been criticism that the focus from regulators on to date on, quote, protecting consumers has actually led to the exclusion of disadvantaged communities from accessing crypto wealth building opportunities. That's a very interesting take. So do you think...
No.
No? You disagree with that part?
Yeah, it's easier to open up an account on Coinbase and transfer the money over than it is to start buying stocks.
That's not true. Well, I mean, okay. It depends on what platform you're using, right? Right or wrong?
I mean, you can use
'Cause
Robinhood.
I have
use Robinhood. I'm just saying that
I have a Chase. I have a
generally speaking,
I have a Chase checking and savings account.
easier to buy crypto.
I have a Chase checking and savings account, and I can literally just transfer money from my checking account, and just takes me 2 minutes to put a trade order, and I have to open another account. Oh, I did have to open an account, but you know what I'm saying? It's linked. It's right there. So I guess it depends on.
There's more.
platform
There's
you're
more
using.
crypto platforms. You can load money up and trade instantaneously. Not to say that you can't on Robinhood, but I mean you have different hours that you can trade. You can put your trade in, and then it won't. If it's on Saturday, it doesn't execute till Monday, and then if it's at a different price from when it opens. If you want exposure to crypto, literally download crypto.com, ACH bank transfer, purchase, boom, you got crypto. Literally. Like that. So I don't really believe that. So if you're disenfranchised, what is that community? Disproportional. Anyways, if they dissing you in the community, okay, you have an option of buying crypto. It's easy. So don't make it sound like
disadvantaged.
Don't make it sound like because you don't have crypto stocks. If you don't have Bitcoin ETF, all of a sudden you know the poor people can't. Everybody has the opportunity to invest in crypto. That's the beauty of it. You even got those Bitcoin ATMs out in the gas stations in the ghetto. You can go walk right up and why are they in the ghetto? Why aren't they in the nice neighborhoods? Have you noticed that?
It should be in every neighborhood.
Have you noticed that?
No, the
Bitcoin ATMs are in the ghettos.
That's not true. I've seen Bitcoin ATMs at nicer parts of town.
No?
Yeah, I have.
I'm telling you, the most ghetto gas stations that you go into here in Vegas, I mean the ones that are like super run down, you gotta like go through 3 people asking you for change to get to the front door. Like those are the ones you get in there and it's like Bitcoin ATM. You're like, that makes no sense to me. Like,
hey, they're trying to help out the disenfranchised, dis people, like Robin said earlier. So,
what if I had a speech impediment?
I think you do.
You feel bad?
No, no. I literally think you do. And that's okay. I want to help you, Robin. I love you, buddy. All right. So let's move on. If you're a millennial, this is really going to lighten up your day. LimeWire is making a comeback. Music sharing service LimeWire is back as an NFT marketplace.
I don't want LimeWire back, bro. Literally broke 2 of my computers downloading music. There's more viruses on LimeWire. And then
don't give away the juicy part of the article, bro. I already have it highlighted.
You download a song and it ends up being in like a different language, and then next thing you know, you got some pop-ups coming up talking about like buying a girlfriend that's made of plastic, and I'm just saying, bro.
Anyways, I'm going to read the article. A popular peer-to-peer music sharing service from the early 2000s is about to get a second act. Today, the new owners of the long dormant brand LimeWire announced that it will be relaunched as an NFT marketplace, initially with a focus on music and related collectibles. Co-CEOs Paul and Julian Zehetmer, a pair of serial tech entrepreneurs, said they acquired the LimeWire brand last year in an effort to reintroduce it for a new wave of digital listeners.
How much do you think they paid for that thing?
$10.
Yeah.
We highly appreciate the strength and energy around the LimeWire brand and what it meant for a whole generation of people, which is what Robin said. Y'all done fucked up my computers, man. Waiting 17 hours for a song to download and only to be a bad file. And now I got to explain to my mom and dad why they have to rebuy me a computer again. And yeah, those are not fun conversations. The original service, go ahead and pull the article back up, Eddie. The original service shut down in 2010 following a legal injunction amid a series of legal challenges from record labels which alleged copyright infringement against LimeWire. LimeWire is returning as a platform for artists, not against them. Okay, that's all I got. Wait, is that all I got?
You know, it's
that's all I got.
It's a bunch of failed companies trying to come back from the grave by going into the crypto sphere. So we have.
And I feel like Metaverse and NFTs.
Radio Shack was launching a blockchain, right? Remember that?
About Radio Shack, my dude.
And then you have Blockbuster getting into NFTs, and now it's like, give it up, bro. Let it go.
If you guys remember or you used LimeWire, put a 1 in the chat. Especially if you're a millennial, you 100% use it. What is Eddie, by the way? He's not a millennial. You're a Gen P, right? No? Okay.
Gen P, is that an actual thing?
It's for Eddie, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to tell you what the P stands for. You know what I'm saying? So this will be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. So, and we're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. Anyways, you got anything to add to this before I move on? Viewership is down big today, bro. We haven't hit 10.
Dude.
We've been over 10 every day for the last 3 months.
Y'all, let me ask you a question. Do y'all not like the show?
They like the show, bro.
Is there a segment of this show that bores you to death and
yeah,
makes you
the
leave?
entire segment where Robin talks. No, honestly, viewership is down across the board. You look at the biggest channels, Coin Bureau, BitBoy.
Cryptos R Us has got 50,000 viewers on his damn live stream. Or no, 50,000 views on his live streams. But yeah, he usually has at least 5 to 10,000 in there.
Yeah.
Dude's stale, bro.
Yeah.
We take the old, boring, and stale information and package it up in a fun and sexy way.
Thanks for that, Robin.
That's right.
All right, I'm moving on. Big news coming out of South Korea. Crypto-friendly Yoon Suk Yeol wins South Korean presidency, and ICX surges 60%. Crypto-friendly candidate has claimed victory in the South Korean presidential election. Cryptocurrency played a leading role in South Korea's election debate, with both candidates releasing campaign-related NFTs. Interesting. Their crypto-sympathetic stances were opposite to former President Moon Jae-in's crackdown on crypto exchanges last year, helping cultivate favor with the younger and more crypto-enthusiastic demographic. This is going to be huge. There is over 50 million people, I believe 50 million people, living in South Korea. And we know countries like South Korea, Japan, they're way more technologically advanced than the U.S. and probably the rest of the world. So this might be part of the catalyst for a big run-up. We'll see what happens. And this is a quote. To realize the unlimited potential of the virtual asset market, we must overhaul regulations that are far from reality and unreasonable. The new president stated that he wished to help create blockchain tech-related unicorns, which are startups that grow to be worth $1 billion or more in South Korea. Yoon also promised to introduce some form of legislation that would see crypto profits gained from illicit activity returned to their victims. So, huge population in South Korea. They love crypto, very technologically advanced. Now they have a president that is very crypto-friendly, in contrast to their previous president, who wouldn't let any freaking new exchange come in there, no new tokens. They had to jump through 60,000 hurdles just to list a freaking token. So now that's going to change. We're going to see more and more of this. And mark my words, moving forward, especially here in the U.S., crypto will be a hot topic in debates, in campaigns, and everything moving forward, because it is such a hot topic now and will continue moving forward. I think if you have a non-crypto friendly or an anti-crypto candidate, they have no shot in winning. That's just my opinion. That's what
I love me some how do you say his name? Yoon Suk.
you
No, that's cool. I think same thing's gonna happen here in the U.S. in all countries. I think, especially ones that are financially dominant. And it seems like all the big powers have seen a lot of inflation. It's not just a problem that's been here in the U.S. Basically the economy around the world shut down, and it super slowly reopened. And we've had international supply chain issues, shipping problems, and obviously the price of gas is not just here in the U.S., it's everywhere. And so obviously you have inflation across the globe. So all of the major countries have seen big issues with their money supply. And so when you go into office, you ain't behind crypto. You're gonna lose some votes.
So there's speculation that Donald Trump's going to run again next election, and he's very anti-crypto. Do you think he's going to have, if he wants to have a chance, do you think he's going to have to change his stance?
I think he's just going to stay quiet on it.
I mean, but how long can you stay quiet? Eventually, they're going to ask you direct questions, especially in a debate format, right?
Have you seen Donald Trump in a debate? Dude dodges more questions.
So, Mr. Trump, what do you think about
cryptocurrency? We're going to build a big, beautiful wall. But that has nothing to do with
Mr. Trump, what do you think about cryptocurrencies? Well, let me tell you. My wife made Parmesan. It was delicious. All right. So great news. Great news for the people, my friends in South Korea. Congratulations, you guys. Next article.
I think I'm telling you, next candidacy. When is it going to be?
2024.
2024.
So they'll start campaigning next year.
Oh, man, I'm not looking forward to that, man. A spam of campaign.
I'm already starting to get texts. Hey,
it's the worst.
Tell us how you're going to vote. No, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to vote.
I don't understand why campaign commercials can't explain what you're trying to achieve. Like, hey, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Nope. Campaign commercials are like, this guy is a crook. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's gonna.
It gets ugly, bro.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to take away your guns. They're gonna take away the police department. They're gonna crash a meteor into your house.
Your wife.
Like you're just like, what are you talking about?
None of that happened. Yeah. Great, American politics for you. All right, let's move on. Eddie, we're actually skipping over an article, buddy. So just so you are aware, if you're not paying attention, like you haven't been over the last 10 minutes, Ethereum launches the final proof of stake testnet. ETH 2.0 right around the corner. The final testnet for the Ethereum upgrade to full proof of stake, known as the merger, has been launched earlier today. We spun up the Kiln testnet to test Ethereum's upcoming move to proof of stake, said one of the developers at the Ethereum Foundation, which means we'll get to see the merger happening, the proof of work network transforming into proof of stake with all the dApps, NFTs, and everything else running on it. So ditching miners to take consensus orders only from stakers. Miners can't be too happy about this. The testnet should keep running for at least 3 months without any serious problems. Then the actual live launch will follow the summer when the entire Ethereum network, including DAI, Curve, Aave, as well as all things like Decentraland or OpenSea, start running on validation from stakers rather than GPUs from miners. So ETH 2.0 is right around the corner. Mott, we're going to see it happening. So we're going to see 3 months of this testnet, which will put us right at summer. So if there's no issues in the testnet, we'll see the main goal of summer. And I'm thinking September, October, we will see finally the complete rollout of ETH 2.0 proof of stake. So miners, all these asinine gas fees you guys have been destroying us on, enjoy them while they last, my friends, because they're going bye-bye.
Well, I want to know. Anyways, we all knew this was coming. So the testnet, well, you had the staking. The staking's been live for a while. So about 6, I think it was like 6 months or so, 4 months, something like that.
No, longer than that.
So, anyways,
Yeah, I think about 10
the
months.
amount of so basically the staking for the ETH 2.0 has been live for a while. Testnet now launches. They're expecting the rollout. What was it, August, July, something like that? Did it say in the article, or is it?
Well, so
Anyways,
if you
this summer supposedly rollout's going to come out. So
August,
we've had the expectation of it coming. In the past, we've been told, hey, we're going to upgrade here in this time frame. This one. Anyways, never came to fruition. But at the same time, we've never had the staking behind it. We've never had the test net. So whether or not you've been irritated by the delays, it's here and it's coming. Maybe it gets delayed by a month or two. Worst case scenario, maybe like the winter. But within this year, you're going to have the ETH 2.0. And what I want to know is what the hell
what's wrong with you?
is all of the miners going to do with them graphics cards? Bro,
Hey.
my next door neighbor literally has like 10 graphics cards. And I was talking to him. I'm like, what are you planning on doing? He's like, I'm a mine Ravencoin. I'm like, good luck with that. So not pooping on Ravencoin, but I'm just saying you're going from mining Ethereum, the number 2 on CoinMarketCap, the number two cryptocurrency in the world, and you're going all the way down the list. What's Ravencoin at? On
Probably out of the top 100.
Yeah, I think you can still mine Cadena, but
Well, here's the
you
thing.
don't need a lot of graphics
There's a
cards for that.
website called Unminable or Unmintable something, where you can mine for other chains, but you can get paid rewards in any chain you want. You can get paid rewards in Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever you want. So,
But I would imagine that website that you mentioned.
Ravencoin is at number 112.
Yeah. Ugh. So, anyways, that one that says you can mine whatever you want and get it paid.
Yeah.
Basically, you're mining Ethereum and then they're just
Paying you out on whatever you want.
Yeah. So that business model is probably going to be gone as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
Big change is coming, but it's for the good of the environment.
I want to know what you're going to all of a sudden see graphics card prices just
plummet. Good, because we need another computer here. All right. Last article we're going to talk about. CBDCs will not impact private stablecoin markets, says the Tether CTO, Chief Technological Officer. Just in case you didn't know what that stood for, you're very welcome. Tether. Oh, it's already listed down here. Tether CTO Paolo Ardiano claimed CBDCs will primarily replace the age-old payment systems and utilize private blockchain as a modern and cost-controlled tech infrastructure. The CTO believes that the growing developments around CBDCs globally wouldn't really impact the role of private stablecoins. This is interesting. He said CBDCs would only replace the age-old centralized payment networks such as SWIFT and use private blockchains to fulfill most transactions. And I want to read his tweet. He tweeted on Tweeters. He said, few thoughts on CBDCs. Fiat is mostly digital already, which is true. About 97% of cash is digital. But it relies on an outdated tech infrastructure built 30 years ago and kept together with rubber bands. And it requires tons of maintenance with enormous costs and is not standardized at capillary levels. Number 2, CBDCs are based on the idea that Tether had 8 years ago, creating the first stablecoin. CBDCs will replace SWIFT. Banks will accept transfers via CBDCs as any wire. CBDCs will settle most of credit or debit card flow, especially over the weekend. That's actually that's very interesting. Banks are closed on the weekends, and here you go. You have an option where everything's open 24/7. And number 3, CBDCs will use private blockchain as modern and cost-controlled tech infrastructures and won't be used on your favorite chain. Private stablecoins will continue to serve that use case. Point being, tech evolves, but nothing actually changes. Only Bitcoin is our edge. Robin, what are you going to say about that?
Bitcoin homers. We're going to the land of Bitcoin homers, the Bitcoin maxis.
Where are we going?
Oh, Miami.
We're going to Miami. Hold on.
I actually do kind of agree. You're gonna have the people that are in the traditional financial system.
Miami. Okay.
Still, you
Feeling
still.
the vibe?
Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe.
Miami vibe, yeah.
So, the people that are in the system now that aren't in crypto are just going to transition unknowingly to CBDCs. And the people that are in crypto now are going to you're going to keep doing what they're doing. So I don't think it's going to, I think the two are two separate sections. Maybe 20, 30 years from now, people will move away from CBDCs and go more into the private sector or vice versa. But, people aren't going to pay attention to how the money moves. They don't care as long as the money's in a bank account. It's the same way you think about it now. Like, do you really care if your money goes from direct deposits into your bank account and then you use it? Then you send your brother some money across the country. Do you care if it goes across the Swift network? No, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter how it gets there. And so the technology behind it doesn't really matter. And so there's going to be people that are just going to transition unknowingly into a CBDC type of format. They're just going to see dollars in their account and they're going to see it move from here to there, pay bills with it this way. They're not going to really care about how or what blockchain technology or traditional fiat technology it moves on. So only kind of the nerds, the people that are already in the space, be like, I'm not using the CBDC. I'm using Tether. So,
all right, we're done. We are done with chitter chatter. We are moving on to our final segment of our show. What is it called, Robin?
Market analysis.
That's right, roll it, baby. All right, Gustavo, go ahead and pull up my laptop, please. Hey, we got to have some fun. All right, we are looking at the top gainers of the day. Stacks is up 25% over the last day, Robin. 25%. Is another city?
Is there any news on Stacks?
Is there a city coin in the works? Possibly. Let's find out if there is any news. Check out the deep dives. All right. No, and okay. Satoshi Bowles' first NFT collection, A Bridge. No.
That was a month ago.
No. So nothing. No big news. It's just pumping. Pumping, and it's pumping hard. Yeah. So let's look at, you know what? Let's pull up the chart here on TradingView. Pull up the Stacks chart for you guys. See what the hell's going on. We have Stacks. Stacks is STX, correct?
Yes.
Yes, it is STX. All right, so we're going to pull up Stacks USD via Coinbase. Holy shit. Look at that wick on this candle. All right, since it's such a here, let's do the 4-hour chart. Yeah. I mean, what something like this just tells me something happened or news broke or something.
There's nothing. I'm scrolling the internet. Anytime you see this, it's probably manipulation.
It might be incorrect. It might it might be incorrect as far as how high it got because from $1.
No, those are never real, bro.
Yeah. So, but this is from Coinbase.
I get
that is aggregated from Coinbase.
There's a you got Bitcoin ones like that on Coinbase. Like, come on. When are you gonna learn that these candles aren't real?
It wicked higher than the last.
He's like, guys, you must have missed the boat. Bitcoin got to 17 trillion, and you didn't pull the trigger.
That was CoinMarketCap. Extremely overbought territory. So Stacks is the biggest gainer of the day at 25%. If we go back and look at some of the other gainers, you have eCash and Zcash are both among the top gainers, along with ICX. Hedera is up 2%, AMP is up 2%, and IOTA is also up 2%. Let's look at the biggest losers.
So yeah, I found nothing on Stacks.
Nothing, right?
Nothing. So I always expect pullbacks on these. If you see a giant run up on a project, especially outside of like the top 20, you see a big parabolic rise, and there's nothing to support why that happened. It's somebody moving money around or trying to manipulate the market, and it's always going to correct itself. So
yeah, I agree.
I bet you by Saturday it's gonna be down like the same percentage.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
As far as the biggest losers, we have Arweave down almost 15%, sitting at $32. Anchor Protocol, after having a huge 2 weeks, is down 9.7%. Phantom, Monero, Cosmos, Bitcoin, literally everything is down. So we are down almost 5% as a whole. Now what I want to do is I want to do some TA. So I was looking at the charts yesterday. So this is Crypto Stackers Pro. If you've never used it and you like chart analysis, technical analysis, click the link in our bio. It's not an affiliate link, so we don't make any money on it, but just a resource that we share with you guys that we like to use here at Sin City Crypto. Go check it out. It's got awesome entry and exit points. So this is the chart I have pulled up here is for Avalanche. So if I we take a local low here. This was back in January of this year. And we have these margin pressure levels, which the brainchild of Forrest himself from Crypto Stackers. You can see here, we've seen pretty strong support at the 4x long level. And that's currently where we are right now. So, and this is not financial advice, but if you're looking to scalp a little bit of profit, this might be a good time to enter into a trade. And your profit target, your exit target should be this 3x long, which is at $79. So you can essentially scalp $9 per coin profit if that's what you enjoy doing. That is something I'm going to do as soon as I sign off. I'm going to get on here. I'm going to buy probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 Avalanche. And then we'll test it out. Now, please remember, technical analysis is never 100%. It could go the opposite way. Anything can happen. So please keep that in mind and never invest any money you are not prepared to lose. So that's the one on Avalanche. Let's see what Bitcoin, if we have any buying opportunities or if we should be exiting out of Bitcoin. Let's see what the charts tell us. So if I do this, all right, let's pull up. First thing I like to do when I use this software is I like to pull up the easy bands, just kind of see where we are. These are probably the most solid long-term accumulation spots and entry and exit points. So we're not really close to the easy bands. So let's go and take those off and let's go back and let's do a local low right here.
Where are the people at, man? Why we only got 8 people in the chat?
I'm telling you, bro, viewership is down across the board. So here we have Bitcoin, and you can see this this local low of 35,000 has been very strong support. So
can you draw a symmetrical triangle there?
I can't draw anything on. I can't draw anything here. I can go on Trading View and draw it.
Yeah, go to Trading View. Draw a triangle, bro.
Draw a triangle.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's like plain as day. And then was it 70% of the time? No. Yeah. Yeah, you go further out and then you draw the line on that and then that top line is pretty much in that zone. You can extrapolate that further back. It touches right back there too. There you go. Look at that. It's gonna keep bouncing in there, and then you're gonna get a breakout.
And
statistically speaking, you're gonna get a breakout to the up, right?
This is to the down.
Is it to the down?
Yeah. No, this is to the up.
Yeah, because it's ascending.
Making higher highs.
Descending, it's more probable to go down. So,
but
so yeah, you could probably see us hitting that resistance range again, then coming back down and retesting that support line. And then if it plays out right, you're going to get a breakout to the up on after the next pullback.
We'll see what happens. But the key thing for me looking at the
what is that line? 41.5?
This line right here? 44.2.
44.
And you know, I've talked about this a lot, you know, this being the resistance or the resistance zone. We've legit tapped this 1, 2, 3 times. So we keep getting rejected at this level. That's not good. We'll see. We need, and here's another thing. I mean, you had a huge candle yesterday and almost an equally big candle, but to the downside today. So,
but I mean, if you just kind of look at this in the short term, or you know, like
we can look at the 4 hour.
No, I mean, like if you go back to that chart, if you look at it, you know, so on this daily chart, you know, you can see that you're making higher lows and you're basically keeping the
Not
same
making
highs,
higher highs.
but you're making higher lows. So, the market's going the right direction.
I don't know.
Right?
Double, triple tops are rarely ever positive indicators. They're actually the more times it's going to touch this resistance line, the bigger the drop.
I don't think it's rare. I think it's more likely. It's more likely to bounce to the downside, but it's not rare by any means. It's still almost close to 50-50.
I mean, no. It's not 50-50.
I'm not saying it's closer to that than it's not rare to hit double top and then you crash down. It's not like it's a unicorn.
No, that's usually what happens. You hit double top and it crashes down. You're saying it's not rare to go double top and go up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not rare. I'm just saying it's still closer to a 50-50 chance.
You have to fact check yourself on that one, my friend. I don't think that's true. Anyways, so yeah, Bitcoin, it's hard to kind of spot trade on Bitcoin just because it's always the first mover. It always reacts first to the market, to the news, to sentiment of the traders. With Bitcoin, I would recommend just accumulating. And maybe on some of these smaller alts where you see bigger price movement, if you want to scalp some profit. That is very dangerous, though, especially if you're leverage trading. And it's a shit show for taxes. But if you can get a hold of that and you got money to spare and you don't mind losing if shit goes sideways, then Avalanche would be, for me right now, a good entry point at $71. Look for that $79 exit point. Scalp some profit, make some money. But make sure you can pay your taxes on that shit. So I think we're done, Robin. I think we're done.
That's it.
I'm done. Unless you got a screen share. So if you want to go over something.
No, my screen share isn't working anymore.
Oh. Well, if you want me to go over something, let me know. But I'm good.
Nah, that's it for me, bro.
I'm good. All right, my friends. Well, viewership is a little low today, but that's okay. We will keep chugging along, keep bringing you all the newest and up-to-date crypto information. Eddie, go ahead and roll the outro. On behalf of myself, Robin and Eddie, we appreciate you guys joining us. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Blockchain parlay results. Who will win $50 or $100 in Bitcoin? We'll see you guys tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. We love you guys. Peace.